So there are two things that I wish someone shared with me when I was starting my business. So I'm gonna be generous and share them. Number one, cash flow is king. This is underestimated a lot, but I promise you, you're going to be very frustrated and you're going to be overwhelmed. You're going to be restrained if you don't have cash flow in your business. Now, there are three avenues on how you could optimize your cash flow. Number one is your pricing models. And this comes down to looking at how you price your particular product or service. Do you even have a recurring, for example, strategy in there? So, for example, in our company, we have clients on a monthly retainer. I kid you not, those are the clients that literally keep our cash flow afloat. Because the clients that come in and give you 8 figures would come in maybe in a 3 months' time, right? It's not as often. But the clients that you have on a monthly retainer will always ensure this cash flow coming in the business. So it's important to look at your pricing model. That is one aspect of the pricing model. The other aspect of the pricing model could be how you present yourself in the market. For example, when you're giving your prospect choices, are you giving them the option of choosing maybe from different packages? You need to understand the human psychology to optimize your cash flow. And the reason why I feel like this is not explored is because it's so hard to break it down in terminology that is understandable. Because unless someone is actively running the business, is when they'll understand these nitty-gritty details. So optimize your pricing method by understanding the human psychology. What makes your target market buy? And have you done research on your target market? What is the pricing like in the market, and where are you at, and why should people buy from you? So that differentiation is very important in terms of pricing. That is on the pricing model. On the second part on cash flow, which is very sensitive and close to my heart because I suffered, ladies and gentlemen, is something called payment collection. Many entrepreneurs will relate to this. You go to your accountant, your books are incredible, they're immaculate. We look like you're making money. You go to your bank and it's crazy. Yeah? Because apparently maybe half of your clientele are delaying in terms of payments. This is something that I feel like young entrepreneurs suffer with a lot. And for me, it took such a long route for me to understand what was happening. First, I'd not exactly determined my target market. Second, I didn't have a cap in the market. You need to develop a cap in the market. I'm not going to take this particular client. This is where I am at in the market. Either you rise up to meet me where I am at in the market, or unfortunately we can't work together. So I know this is a challenge, especially when you are new in business, but try to aim towards it as soon as possible, because not only will this define your value, you'll get to understand and deliver to your target market better when you can be the kind of person that says, unfortunately, no, I don't think we could work together, simply because the client doesn't match up to your standard. We have this habit of creating clients creating standards for the services they want, but entrepreneurs fail to create a standard for the kind of client they want. I promise you, and I feel like this has a spiritual aspect to it, I promise you, the day you decide that I'm not gonna take a client below this particular price level, you'll realize that has been your headache for the longest time. Because the minute I got the courage, for example, to start having a cap at the clients that I take in, I promise you things started flowing much easily, because you'll find you'll now be attracting your target market, and your target market appreciates your value. They know exactly what you bring to the table. And here is the paradox. I don't know if it's a paradox or irony. Here's the irony of it all. A client that pays you your worth will give you ample time, not just to deliver, but will trust in what you do. So they're not going to be micromanaging you. Clients that actually pay well, I promise you, are much easier to work with because they've rised up to your standard and they're giving you value you're giving them value for their money. It's very important to have that cap. And another thing I feel in the collection of payment, the second thing that I feel most entrepreneurs don't get right, and especially in your legal contractual agreement, please note down what are the payment regulations, your payment policy as per your company. This is something that I never included, I think, until like a year and a half ago. It's important for the clients to know which pay date is latest, and there should be at least a little or a small penalty, or a pinch on their end if they extend these delays. Because I promise you, I've run into all kinds of people in the market. There are people you're gonna do business with, and months down the line, they're not even bothered that they owe you money. And as a young entrepreneur, often you're very polite because you're hoping I don't want to lose this client in the process. You're gonna save yourself all this hassle if from the minute you're onboarding a client, your legal clauses handle everything around collection. And I feel like this is the part that most young entrepreneurs who probably won't understand the impact of. The minute you're having delayed payments, you're not getting the price for the value you deliver. Because if you're supposed to pay me a certain rate within 30 days and you extend this to 90 days, you extend it to 120 days, in short, the value I'd given you for 30 days, you've stretched it into 4 months. I am on the losing end. But nobody teaches you this stuff, guys. Nobody teaches you this stuff. The second part I'll probably put on YouTube. Cheers.